I know when a lot of you guys read the title, you instantly thought of the game Space Invaders, and who can blame you? I mean, it's a cool retro game, I think. I don't know for sure. Look. The year I was born in is a compound sentence. 2000 and. So this is what I recognize as games. Not this. Don't get me wrong, I love retro games. But this, my friend, with its crappy display and military warhead looking console, is not a retro game. It's a prehistoric game. And there aren't a lot of museums in the country. And there aren't a lot of arcades in the country. None that I actually know of. I never played the original game, but I've played lots of modern adaptations of it. The objective is to single-handedly blast swarms of aliens, wave by wave, as fast as you can, so they don't kill you first. And when you're done destroying a whole civilization of aliens, you get a couple of points. Awesome game. But you want to know one thing I dread more than this game's chronic thirst for the destruction of extraterrestrial life forms? People. People who are actual space invaders. People who just can't respect your personal space. Chances are we can all relate to being weirded out by people who can't seem to keep their distance. Unless you're that person. In which case, please stop. Okay, let me ask you a question. Can't you process the fact that it's a little annoying when a person is doing something that definitely does not require your presence and you're standing there like... It's just a little weird for me when people get too physically in contact with me. And it's not a pride thing where I think I'm above everyone and no one should touch me. That kind of thought process is fueled by an unhealthy level of self-esteem. A level which, unlike in games, I am very much okay with not reaching. Okay, let's make things clear here. I don't have a problem with being physically close to people. I just feel there's a reasonable distance to have between two people having a normal conversation. Don't stand so far you just become the ambient, but also don't get so close you start to sound like ASMR. I find ASMR mildly uncomfortable. And there are some people who live completely on the other side of the spectrum. People who don't believe they have a good conversation going until they are making physical contact with you. Sound can be propagated through air, you know. And you have people who for some reason cannot keep their distance at all times. It sounds a little weird if you haven't had experience with these kinds of people before, but if you have, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Can I help you? Do you mind? Hugs are kinda strange to me. I understand what they mean, but hugs go in the same box as everything from my high school chemistry class. The impossible to comprehend box. Okay, to keep things simple, I'm not a hugger. I mean, I'm okay with it if you want to do it, cause I'll never initiate a hug. It's cool if you want to hug. Okay, that's enough. I don't really understand what goes on in my mind when a person hugs me, but for some reason, my brain gets the exact opposite reaction as other people. Instead of relaxing, my brain finds a way to flip the panic switch and just panic and overcomplicate everything with unnecessary questions. Do I tap their back or just do nothing? Do I lean onto them or maintain a perfect 90 degrees with the ground? Do I alter the settings of my hypothalamus to increase the heat generation of my body so I feel warmer? Do I self-destruct? I don't know why I'm like this. A lot of people have just told me I am weird, but I refuse to accept that as fact. So as the brilliant young intellectual that I am, I realized further research was needed. New information had to be gathered and new answers formulated. So I went on Google, and after the very first entry into the search engine, I started to receive some interesting answers. But one thing they all pointed to as the main source of the problem was my family. Get 'em! But it didn't take too long for it to start making sense. I didn't grow up around people who particularly liked hugging. Like, there are only two situations that can result in me getting hugged by any of my siblings. One, either we see each other after a long time and they hug me, but for some reason they squeeze me so hard, eventually locking me in a bear hug submission hold. Or two, they intentionally lock me in a bear hug submission hold. So it's dangerous in both cases. And this is what that looks like, in case you didn't know. It's quite painful when done properly. I'm guessing you can tell now why I don't like hugs. PTSD. All this while, I've been calling them space invaders, and while I don't condone touching or getting too close to people without their permission, I think it goes without saying that hugging is a crucial part of human social interaction, and being able to do it properly without wanting to self-destruct is a sign of a proper upbringing. But we all have to know that there are some people, and I'm a typical example, who are just different. So next time you hug a person and they freeze, like some kind of system error just occurred, they're not broken, they're just confused. Okay, he's probably broken.